Has there ever been an instance at a wedding you attended where someone voiced an objection? What happened as a result? Oh, that's a juicy wedding scenario, you know. It's not that common these days. But objections during wedding ceremonies used to be more of a thing in the past. It's like a plot straight out of a movie. The few times I've heard of objections at weddings, they usually caused quite the stir. Sometimes the officiant, usually a quick-thinking professional, manages to diffuse the situation smoothly and carry on with the ceremony. But in some cases, it can lead to drama and delays. You never know what might happen at a wedding. That's the beauty and unpredictability of live events. There was only one purpose for the objection, and it was to prevent brothers from secretly marrying their sister, etc., empatable for each other. It was designed to prevent people from being married who are legally incapable of being married. They're close relatives. One of them is already married to somebody else, etc. So, people shouting out objections related simply to incompatibility are just being silly and don't understand the original purpose that it was used for in weddings. Oh, that's an interesting question. I've never seen it happen in real life. But usually when someone voices an objection at a wedding, it can lead to some drama. Traditionally, the officiant will ask if anyone objects, but it's quite rare for someone to actually speak up. If it does happen, it can be pretty awkward and tense for everyone involved. The couple may need to address the objection then and there or later in private, depending on the situation. It definitely adds some unexpected excitement to the wedding day. Oh, I've heard some wild stories about objections at weddings. There was this one time when a guest stood up right before the vows and voiced an objection. It got super awkward for a moment, but then the officiant calmly addressed it and asked the person to share their concerns in private after the ceremony. The couple went on with the wedding and later sorted things out with the guest. To you, talk about a dramatic twist. Have you experienced anything like this at a wedding before? Eating this beautiful and slurring his words, he then told everyone about his failures with relationships, and people honestly wanted to help stop him making a fool of himself as a drunk emotional mess. I felt bad for the guy. Open bar can be emotionally dangerous at a wedding, and opening the mic up to anyone in the crowd. When my best friend got married to his wife, we were joking around before the wedding that he might get cold feet and asked me to object. So, when they asked that question, he just looked at me and mouthed help. His bride gave me an eye roll. I replied, "Sorry, Jack. Can't help you. You're going to have to do this." Everyone laughed. It was a small backyard wedding. He was a prankster, so no one took his cry for help seriously. I went to a wedding where the bride glared at the audience, daring anyone to speak up. None of us thought the marriage was a good idea, but we stayed quiet. They were soon divorced. He had a punny sense of humor, and when he would tell a joke, she would punch him in the arm. He was trained in martial arts and had to resist reacting. We all told her to quit hitting him. Does anyone know of any legal impediment? Is the phrase, and it's limited to things that would make the marriage illegal, like bigamy or consanguinity or coercion. I don't like it or he's in a hole isn't a valid objection. The person who dramatically yelled out that they object wasn't actually serious. Everyone knew it was just one of their jokes to friend, so there was a bit of laughter, and then the ceremony carried on like nothing happened. This objection is for them already being legally married, not for someone not wanting the marriage to take place. You will get absolutely nowhere except removed with objecting for any other reason at a wedding. I was at municipal court. The judge paused to perform a marriage ceremony for two senior citizens. When he got to the objection, someone in the back yelled, "She's a hoe." Objection. Sword fight. Realization it was a case of mistaken identity. Wrong wedding. LARP-themed wedding was awesome. Last I heard, couple was still happily married. My drunk cousin objected to my sister's wedding, but number one took him serious cause he was the black sheep of the family. People simply laughed at and continued the ceremony. Whenever a wedding was gonna have the potential of that, I've noticed the priest skipping the question entirely and proceeding to the nuptials and vows. For me, went to a wedding where they skipped that part because the bride's adult daughter was planning to object.